As you reach to open the sliding door, an engineer in a bright blue jacket stops you.
Hold on there, Chief. It's out of order. See? You're a newcomer, right? It's a straight-up open house here today.
He offers you his hand. According to his badge, this is Maxim Penkovsky, technician. The technician slaps the door with one hand.
You have to wait until I'm done. Some orange jammed up the lock with chewing gum just for a laugh. They're like animals, those oranges, marking their territory. If you ask me, they're too gracious about those bastards in Crystal Sands.
Penkovsky chuckles.
Looks like you don't get it. Tons of relics pass through Concord. The base is laid out to make everyone walk a single route, with the top level as separate as possible from the bottom. You get the memo?
Attention.
He turns back to the lock.
So in the meantime, take a load off. Have a coffee. Loosen up. Watch the storm through the window. You'll be seeing a lot of those out here.
Maxime extracts a thin, sharp, precision probe from behind his ear and dangles it in front of you.
Though there's another way. You want to learn something about picking locks? It's a useful skill in all sorts of situations.
He looks at you expectantly. The Blue's getting excited.
All right, looky here.
Penkovsky presses his pick lock, and an odd device resembling a hybrid of a screwdriver and a can opener into your hand.
Using a mechanical pick lock is easy peasy. No special skill required. They wear out after a few locks. While the old-fashioned kind is another thing entirely. Cheap, one use. But one has to know how to use it right. That's a tool for a master.
Maxime takes out another pick lock and crouches by the door. He gives you a quick lesson on how to pick a lock.
By the way, you can carry your tools in your belt. It's much handier to have them right there.
Penkovsky shows you his utility belt, where he keeps all kinds of tools and gadgets.
Actually, finding tools under the dome is no problem at all. There are even devices for hacking terminals and so on.
Maxime hoists up his belt. The Blue solemnly raises his index finger.
And one more thing. Always use brand name stuff if you can. Groovy produces good kits. Modus and Supercolor do too. They've all got fat contracts with Cronus, so they care about quality.
He looks at the door again.
Damn these locks. Though I'd rather be doing this than fixing hab pods. Those are a real pain in the ass.
Penkovsky gives you a patronizing look.
Because they're poorly made. Warped from the heat, and the filters aren't worth a damn. The modules were constructed by marketing managers, not engineers. Building a city in the desert was also their idea. This project is all about PR. Cronus wants to show the world how tough they are. I repeat, get a lockpick and attach it to your utility belt. And then, apply it to the door. Yes, apply is the proper word.
Attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
I repeat, get a lockpick and attach it to your utility belt. And then, apply it to the door. Yes, apply is the proper word. I repeat, get a lockpick and attach it to your utility belt. And then, apply it to the door. Yes, apply is the proper word. You're doing great. All right, off you go. I'll keep working on this lock because of that orange. Hey-ho.
Welcome under the dome, an amazing excursion to a world of new technology and
As
the
you
seasons
see,
there are endless salt pans in the western region behind me. The sun reflects blindingly from the sun, and the air is as dry as a month.
A middle-aged black is sitting behind the counter with his hands in his lap. The buttons and zippers on his uniform are polished to a shine, and even his badge, Winston Botherby, instructor, has been buffed so much it hurts to look at it. Botherby frowns as you approach.
Your first act is being late for the briefing. You going to be late for your funeral as well?
The black looks you over.
Yes, I see the weapon received checkmark. Looks like you are fully prepared to disappoint me. You are prepared, right, employee?
Botherby leans over the counter and directs you to the doors.
Behind this door is a combat simulation computer. Launch it and begin your course.
He raises his index finger.
The conditions in the training zone closely simulate those one would experience in the field. Your goal is to avoid getting lost and dying of dehydration. And try to aim the barrel away from yourself when shooting.
Attention, attention. Please handle
Pulling a notepad from his pocket, the instructor jots down your name.
Your goal is to hit 3 targets. I'm going to monitor you and advise as necessary. And try not to burst into tears. That's all. Go ahead.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
What if I told you that in a year, you'll be lying in a swimming pool, sipping the margarita right on this... Sounds like a sunrise.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Try not to get too cocky.
According to them, there will soon be a real resort city in the West, with bars, casinos, spas, and therapeutic saunas. I don't know about you, but I'm sure I'll come here in a year and will feel like a real queen. This is Victoria Legrand, and
Botherby nods grandly.
You made it through training without making a total fool of yourself. Congratulations. I'll send a report up the chain about your completely unanticipated success. You're dismissed, employee.
Victoria Legrand. As you can see,
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
the sun reflects blindingly from the salt, and the air is as dry as a nun's gusset. What an inhospitable wilderness, you'll say. And I fully
Welcome
agree
under the
with
dome,
you.
an
But
amazing
what if
excursion
I
to a
told
world
you?
of new technology and the riddles of an ancient civilization. Listen to this information, useful for all wings, and receive a colorful leaflet.
Sounds like a sci-fi story.
You see a tall scientist in a white lab coat, bathed in the dim lamplight. He almost appears to be hovering above the laboratory floor. The man turns at your footsteps. He's holding a paper clipboard and a pencil. His shimmering silver badge reads Sebastian Van Olden. He glances from you to the glittering watch on his wrist.
I want us to respect one another's time. Please speak loudly, clearly, and to the point. You must be the newcomer I was told about. Nice to meet you.
Finished with his unusual greeting, he offers you his thin
Attention,
hand.
attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
The scientist puts the clipboard aside, raises his watch for a closer look, and sets the timer.
World, a better place.
He shows you his watch dial.
According to the rules of this briefing, I have to touch on a large number of topics. Therefore, I will do so very briefly. Do not interrupt me. When I'm finished, I'll answer your questions. Within regulations, of course.
Sebastian produces his handheld and clicks some buttons.
I checked your scanner. It's working and is connected to the Minerva database. Everything you scan will earn you Kronos or Forefathers knowledge points.
The instructor watches you with displeasure.
Are you listening? Scan everything that might be of scientific interest. First of all, anomalies. They could be dangerous. Make sure to always have medication with you.
World, a better place.
He places a canvas pouch in your hand.
This pouch is full of bolts. You can temporarily discharge an anomaly by throwing a bolt into it. It's primitive, but reliable.
Van Olden pushes a button on his stopwatch.
So, my oral briefing fell within the allotted span of time. Any questions you want to ask me?
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Sebastian snorts skeptically.
Oh, great. You're even ignorant of the basics. Minerva is a mainframe located at Magellan Base, where you'll be going soon, by the way. The Minerva disk stores the database containing every piece of information about the Dome and the company's employees. It is thanks to this scanning that the database is constantly updated. Are you ready for the second part of the briefing, or do you have any more questions?
The instructor looks at his chronometer again. The White scowls in annoyance.
Do you know anything at all? What did you come under the Dome for anyway? You get knowledge points for scanning objects. For scanning anomalies and relics, you receive 4 father points. Scanning the company's property and employees, living or dead, earns you Chronos knowledge points.
He explains with a sagacious expression.
You can exchange knowledge points for medication and equipment as part of the volunteer research program. Are you ready for the next part? The clock is ticking.
The instructor taps his watch meaningfully.
You'll need some one-use stimulator injectors, bandages to stop bleeding, and anti-radiation agents and radio protectors, including ARAD-3.
The White ticks these off on his fingers. He produces a black-capped, transparent plastic jar out of his pocket.
According to protocol, you should have this medicine. I'll give it to you as soon as we proceed to the practical part of the briefing. Are you ready, by the way, or do you have any questions?
The scientist glances at his watch again.
You're within the time limit for questions. The next step is training in the artificial ecozone.
He rests one finger on the button in preparation to start the timer.
You're going to go downstairs and scan relics. I will be monitoring your progress. Please note there are several radioactive anomalies in the ecozone. These are the same conditions you'll be working in the field. Radioactive zones and relics are quite common under the Dome.
He smoothly extracts a jar of yellow pills from his pocket.
Here's your ARAD-3. And one more thing. Just a moment.
Attention, attention. Please handle
But we
relics
aren't
carefully.
strangers to sci-fi.
In case of
The
damage,
detailed
your
plans
life will
are
be forfeit.
according to them, there will soon be a real resort city in the West.
Welcome under the dome, an amazing excursion to a world of new technology and civilization.
I don't know about you, but I'm sure I'll come here in a year and will feel like a real queen. This is Victoria LeGrand, and the dome from the inside. See you next time.
Welcome under the dome, an amazing excursion to a world of new technology and riddles of an ancient civilization.
Please stand by for decontamination to end. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Dome with me, Victoria LeGrand. As you can see, there are endless solar pans in the western region behind me.
Welcome Under the Dome, an amazing excursion to a world of new technology and the riddles of an ancient civilization.
Air is as dry as a nun's gusset.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
An inhospitable wilderness, you say. I might really agree with you.
Van Olden gestures back at the ecozone.
You haven't completed scanning everything yet.
Sounds like a sci-fi story, but we aren't strangers to sci-fi here.
Be careful around the anomalies. Touch one of them and you'll be injured.
Honest work will make the world a better place. A better
Journal entry, a successful scanning attempt. You're doing all right so far. Go ahead. I'll keep an eye on you and make sure you don't screw it up. Journal entry, 2 objects scanned. And again, watch out for anomalies, touch one and you'll be injured. Toss a bolt at the anomaly to discharge it.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
The sun reflects blindingly from the salt, and the air is as dry as a nun's gusset. What an inhospitable wilderness.
Sebastian meets you on the platform.
Your finishing time is within the acceptable range.
He clicks the stopwatch button, fixing the result time. The scientist turns back to his notes.
Not bad. One question. You observed several anomalies while scanning. Why do you think they appeared? I'd like to hear your opinion.
The scientist assumes a superior expression.
I knew you'd come up with something like that. I see you understand nothing about the nature of anomalies. So let me add a couple of points.
In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
He glances at the shimmering blue light in the eco zone.
The truth is, we don't know the precise reason for these phenomenon either. We actually know nothing, no matter how much we try to convince ourselves otherwise.
Sebastian points a thin finger at the clustered lightning.
I personally believe that the anomalies are the dome's security mechanism. The ones you saw are relatively harmless, but there are different anomalies in the desert, phenomenon that toy with the human mind.
Van Olden clasps his hands behind his back.
I know you don't care, but I'll say it anyway. Scientists today are required to be wonder workers who can heal cancer with a wave of their hand and solve the secrets of the universe during their coffee break. For some reason, no one wants to understand that fundamental science is always an investment in the future. It produces no answers here and now.
The White's gaze strays back to his clipboard.
If something terrible happens under the dome one day, and I'm sure it will, science will protect no one. That is all. Off you go.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Please stand by for decontamination to end. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Dome from the Inside with me,
An
Victoria
amazing excursion
Legrand.
to a world
As
of
you
new
can
technology
see,
and the
there
riddles
are
of an ancient
endless salt
civilization.
pans in
Listen
the
to this
western region
information,
behind
useful
me.
for all
The
wings,
sun
and receive a
reflects
colorful
light
leaflet.
from the sun, and the air is as dry as a nun's gusset. What? It's a bit of a wilderness.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life
Right on this spot. Sounds like a sci-fi story.
And receive a
But
colorful
we aren't
leaflet.
strangers to sci-fi here. A detailed plans
make the world a better place. World a better place.
Welcome Under the Dome, an amazing excursion to a world of new technology and the riddles of an ancient civilization.
But I'm sure I'll
Listen to
find
this
you
information,
here,
useful
and
for
you'll
all
feel
wings,
like a
and receive a
real
colorful
queen.
leaflet.
This
Come on, don't be shy.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit. Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place. Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit. Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place.
See ya! Welcome Under the Dome, an amazing excursion to a world.
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place.
Welcome Under the Dome, an amazing excursion to a world of ancient civilization. Listen to this information, useful for all wings, and receive a colorful leaflet.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Soon be a real resort city.
Welcome Under the Dome, an amazing excursion to a world of new technology.
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place.
Greetings!
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit. Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit. Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place. Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place. Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit. Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place.
Have a good one.
Ed,
Welcome
spit it
to the
out.
Dome, an amazing
I can see that
excursion
something's
to a
bothering
world
you.
of new technology and the riddles of an ancient civilization.
It's a bit of a private matter, you see.
God. Come on already.
We can't just...
Attention.
Employee, please come here. There's an urgent task for you.
In case of damage, your life will
It's
be
nothing
forfeit.
that's-
Honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place.
I'm all ears.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Oh, good day.
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place. Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit. Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit. Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place.
Come back again.
The giant display glows welcomingly when you approach. A red light comes on under the screen's steel hood. The camera is switched on. A gray old man with high cheekbones appears and squints out at you from the screen.
Do you copy?
He leans close to the camera, his glasses glittering.
My name is Martin Kingsley. I'm Chief Officer of Magellan Base. We were supposed to meet in person, but unforeseen circumstances prevented that. One moment. I'll grab your file.
He reaches for something out of view and produces a thin folder with your name on the cover. Apparently, your file. Kingsley opens the folder to thumb through the pages. He marks one of the pages with a pencil.
Why did you choose Blackwing? There are other divisions in the corporation you could have worked in.
Kingsley's waiting for your answer. Martin nods and writes something down.
Cronus has much to offer. Varied assignments, our own training zone, and the opportunity to move up through the ranks.
Kingsley closes the file and folds his hands in front of him.
Thank you for your reply. I learned a little more about you. Now I want you to learn a little bit more about us. Keep in mind, this is not a rehearsed speech.
He assumes a serious expression.
When the dome was discovered in 1971, it became a scientific and media sensation, a worldwide phenomenon, and likely the most significant discovery in the history of mankind.
Kingsley drums his fingers on the unseen desk, his gaze focused somewhere beyond.
I see. You were enticed here by radio advertising, telefilms, and all those interviews, billboards at every turn. Cronus wants the world to see the dome as a stage where something merry and fascinating is going on. But now that you're actually here, I want you to see the real picture.
You can't make out his eyes behind the glare on his spectacles, but he seems to be staring directly at you.
Here's the truth. Nobody was waiting for us inside the dome. It's neither a treasury of technologies nor a cemetery of the ancients. Perhaps what we're doing now is defusing the world's most complicated bomb. Will our mission thrive? I believe so. If we work together and everybody does their part.
He looks back at your file.
I say, do what must be done. Because that's what the concept of the 5 wings is all about.
Kingsley points at the camera.
You're from Blackwing. Your duties are simple and straightforward. But you have to understand, everything you do is to maintain order and peace. Once people panic, they kill each other much quicker than the dome ever would.
Putting the folder aside, he sits back and stares at you in silence. It gets so quiet that the ticking of a clock can be heard through the speakers. Kingsley sighs quietly.
You were probably waiting for some boilerplate welcome speech. But I prefer to talk about real-world problems. Glad to meet you.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Martin nods slowly.
I apologize once again for this long-distance meeting. Now, as we don't have much time, I'd like to get to the point. I'm sure you're curious why you were taking off the bus to Magellan and brought here instead.
He moves closer to the camera.
I'm going to show you a short video. Please pay attention.
Kingsley's face freezes on screen.
I have an urgent mission for an employee of your background and qualifications. I'd have assigned someone from Magellan, but I'm short on personnel. That's why it has to be a newcomer. I apologize again for the rush, but it seems I have no choice.
Martin noisily clears his throat.
Maybe you've heard about Nashville Base. While preparing the materials for this mission, I came across a short documentary film about the complex. I think you should watch it.
The speakers produce a hollow click. Purple, gray, and black spots flicker on the screen. A blurred title, The Cronus Archive 1971 to 1974, was used in the production of this recording, appears at the bottom.